Throughout history, civilizations have rarely collapsed without warning. The ruins we uncover today were not built in ignorance or destroyed overnight. They were once thriving centers of knowledge, power, trade, and belief. Their people observed the same skies, rivers, seasons, and social tensions that we do now. And yet, again and again, these civilizations failed to act when the signs became impossible to ignore. What history shows us is not that collapse is sudden, but that warnings are gradual, familiar, and often dismissed until they become unavoidable. Ancient societies recorded their fears in myths, monuments, and rituals. Long before destruction arrived, subtle changes began to reshape daily life. Harvests failed more frequently. Political trust eroded. Infrastructure weakened. Social unity fractured. These were not mysteries to the people living through them. They noticed. They debated. They adjusted. But rarely enough. What ultimately doomed many civilizations was not the absence of knowledge, but the refusal to accept what that knowledge implied. Take ancient Mesopotamia, one of humanity's earliest urban civilizations. Its people mastered agriculture, irrigation, writing, and law. Yet their sophisticated irrigation system slowly poisoned the soil with salt, reducing crop yields over generations. Records show that administrators were aware of declining harvests. They adjusted grain quotas, reassigned labor, and expanded territory to compensate. But they never addressed the root cause. The warning was clear, measurable, and documented. Yet, structural momentum carried the system forward until it could no longer sustain itself. Collapse did not arrive as a surprise. It arrived as a delayed consequence. The same pattern appears in the Maya civilization. For centuries, the Maya thrived in challenging environments through complex water management, agriculture, and astronomy. But archaeological evidence reveals cycles of prolonged drought, deforestation, and population pressure. Stele inscriptions become fewer toward the end of major city-states. Construction slows. Ritual centers are abandoned. The warning signs were not invisible. They were carved in stone. Yet political rivalry and elite competition continued even as resources dwindled. The collapse was not caused by ignorance, but by priorities that no longer aligned with survival. History repeatedly demonstrates that civilizations struggle to respond to slow-moving threats. Gradual decline feels manageable. Each generation adapts just enough to believe the system will endure. Leaders often interpret warning signs as temporary setbacks rather than structural failures. When floods increase, walls are built higher. When food grows scarce, trade expands. When unrest spreads, authority tightens. These responses create the illusion of control while accelerating long-term vulnerability. Environmental stress has been one of the most consistent warnings throughout history. From the deforestation of Easter Island to the overgrazing of the Fertile Crescent, ecological imbalance rarely produces immediate catastrophe. Instead, it erodes resilience, soil thins, water becomes unreliable, biodiversity disappears. Civilizations accustomed to abundance continue as if scarcity is a passing phase. By the time nature's limits become undeniable, options have narrowed. Political systems also issue warnings long before they collapse. Corruption, inequality, and institutional rigidity appear repeatedly in the historical record. In late Roman society, power concentrated among elites, while public infrastructure decayed. Tax burdens increased. Military loyalty shifted. Contemporary writers complained openly about moral decline, administrative inefficiency, and social fragmentation. These were not hidden issues. They were discussed, debated, and criticized, but rarely corrected at a systemic level. Rome did not fall because it lacked insight. It fell because reform arrived too late, and resistance to change remained strong. Social cohesion is another warning sign that civilizations consistently underestimate. When trust between citizens erodes, cooperation becomes fragile. Shared identity weakens. People retreat into smaller groups defined by class, region, or belief. Ancient records often reveal increasing polarization before collapse. Conflicts between elites and commoners, urban and rural populations, religious factions, or political rivals. These divisions consume attention and energy, distracting societies from addressing external and structural threats. What makes these warnings so difficult to act upon is that they rarely feel urgent at first. Civilizations are built to maintain continuity. Their institutions reward stability, tradition, and incremental change. Radical adjustments threaten established power structures and cultural norms. As a result, early warnings are often reframed as manageable challenges or dismissed as exaggerated concerns. The longer a system persists, the harder it becomes to imagine its end. Archaeology also reveals the silence that follows ignored warnings. Abandoned cities show signs of rushed departure, tools left behind, half-finished buildings, empty storage rooms. These remnants suggest not sudden destruction, but gradual decline, followed by a tipping point. When collapse finally arrives, it feels abrupt, only because the earlier stages were normalized. One of the most haunting aspects of historical collapse is that people living through it often did not believe they were witnessing the end. They expected recovery, renewal, a return to normal. Civilizations rarely announce their final chapter. They simply fail to adapt fast enough to changing realities. The warning signs become clearer only in retrospect, when survival is no longer at stake, and the story can be told without hope clouding judgment. History does not suggest that collapse is inevitable, but it does show that denial is costly. Civilizations that responded effectively to warnings by restructuring institutions, preserving ecosystems, or redefining values often survived in transformed forms. Those that clung to existing systems, believing endurance was guaranteed, left behind ruins and unanswered questions. The warnings were there, they always are, written in climate shifts, social unrest, economic strain, and cultural anxiety. The past speaks not through prophecy, but through pattern. And the most unsettling truth history offers is not that civilizations fall, but that they fall while believing they still have time. Subscribe to this channel for more. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a story lost to time.